And welcome back. 1 in 7 women can develop a postpartum mood disorder, and that includes things like postpartum depression and anxiety. KXAN anchor Britt Moreno is here to talk about a special report that she's been working on for months and why this is so important to you. And really quickly, you posted something on Instagram just about your experience just a few minutes ago. I reposted it, and I've already gotten messages from people talking about how this has impacted them. So your story has really resonated with so many people.
Thank you for doing that,
Yeah.
and thank you for telling me. That is the whole premise for why we're doing this report. It really is to help other women, other new moms, and even other parents, because I learned this can happen to the dads too. So just as you mentioned, 15% of new moms are experiencing some form of postpartum depression, and experts believe that postpartum anxiety may be even higher, but that's a little tougher to track. So the numbers are a little fuzzy on that one, but we need to talk about this. And the reason that we're talking about this is because I was one of those moms, and I never thought it would be me. I suffered for months in silence like so many others, not even realizing that I was going through something. That's how crazy those newborn stages are sometimes, and the time after they're a newborn, and that's an important distinction to talk about actually. But we want to help new parents equip themselves with the tools to understand why they might be going through whatever they're going through. Hundreds of viewers sent in messages after I shared part of my postpartum journey. And Jen, that's why we're doing this, because people said we need to talk about this. So we took everybody's questions to an expert in perinatal mood disorder. And tonight at 10, we'll talk about how it's not just the moms who can experience this, it's all types of parents. We'll talk about how to recognize PPA and PPD and the difference between baby blues and when someone needs a little bit extra help. We'll also talk about what could happen if you don't get that help. And this in particular is what really shook me. This is what made me realize, okay, I need to get some help.
And let's talk about how this can actually, Britt, impact people who aren't parents.
Yeah, I think that's a great question. This awareness, I think, is so important because it can help spouses and friends and family members recognize what's going on with the new parent. And that way they can step in and say, you know what, you need a little bit of extra help right now. Or let me make this phone call to a counselor or a mental health specialist. Let me be the one to do that for you and take that off your plate. That way you can focus on you and the children, for example. This will also just tell someone, hey, I need to check in with myself. So whether you're a parent or not, I just hope everyone understands that we go through peaks and valleys, right? Some days we have bad days. And when you're having that kind of bad day, just realize that it takes time. It's a process, you know? And even in this moment with you, Jen, I find myself being nervous just because this isn't something that we talk about, but it's okay to talk about. It's okay to be having some bad days sometimes.
And to normalize that and to really emphasize the importance of getting help and leaning on others in your community. So something else that you have done really is you have shared viewers' comments that they shared with you about their journey.
Right. So many people, women and men, wrote us messages, and some of them are so heartbreaking because they talk about their struggles. They say, we struggled alone, mostly. We didn't even want to admit that we were struggling because a lot of us feel like we should be grateful for the new baby, and we're ungrateful if maybe something's not right with us. Such is not the case, of course. We do need to talk about these things. But I'm going to talk about what those people said. I'm also going to introduce people to my family, because the reality is when mom goes through something, everybody goes through something, and so often we put our children first and our relationships first, and we forget to take care of ourselves. But the reality is, as parents, we do need to take care of ourselves. So we will show all that coming up tonight, and I think most importantly, and what I want to drive home, is that we're going to talk about ways that people can get help. That's what's most important.
And for you, when did you know it's time for me to get some help? Things are not right. I need to get someone to support me.
I think early on, moms hear, oh, we can get things like baby blues. So that's only 3 to 4 weeks into your postpartum journey. But there was a point where I came back to work and I was here and I was trying to work through things and it wasn't working. I mean, the stress of what you go through sometimes is almost too much to bear. And that's when I realized this is not going to work out well. I was truly breaking at a breaking point. And that's when I said, okay, I had been telling myself, no one can help. The doctors can't help. My husband won't understand. And at that point, and it was probably 5 months in,
Yeah.
I finally went to a doctor and I said, here's what I'm going through. And just hearing that doctor validate what I was experiencing and saying, it's okay, here's what it is. It's postpartum anxiety, it's postpartum depression. People go through this and it's okay, and there's help. Just hearing that made all the difference.
Yeah.
And so that's when things started changing. And now here we are at work and we're able to kind of take a step out of that tough time and talk about this. And that's really what I hope to do tonight, is just to show people that there is hope. It's not always going to be dark. There's
Yeah.
light at the end of all this.
And you found that, and I think it takes such courage to share your story, to share your journey, but it's helping so many other people on the other side.
I sure hope so. And we want to hear from y'all, so let us know if you have any questions, concerns, whatever. We are here for you. You're not in this alone.
And definitely, and that story airs again tonight at 10 o'clock. Britt, thank you,
Thank you.
thank you, thank you.